Hey there! If you're here, then you've made a nice progress and deserve a pat on the back. But everything we have covered so far was too easy, don't you think? I think so too. Then it's time we level up. So today we will take a look at vue-router, and as you know, everything we have built so far didn't really have pages, so for today's demo I added a few pages. And when you click on a link, usually you see a different page with a different content, and for that I created views, and they're usually inside the views folder, and this views folder is outside the components folder, but it's really up to you. You can place them wherever you want, and for each link we will have a corresponding view or page file, and they're usually ending with a view. And for now I'm using home view and hard coding it, but in a minute we will install vue-router and see how we can use links to switch between them. Okay, so let's try to install vue-router. If I can install vue-router 4, which is the current version of vue-router, hit enter and it should install it, like so. So now we need to create a router, and it's usually inside this router folder. And for that we will use an index JavaScript file. To use vue-router, we can import create router from vue-router, like so, and it has a few options. First one we don't really need to care about. Will be for creating the web history. I'll quickly do this. And so the only thing we need to care about will be our routes, which is the array of routes, and each route will be an object with path property, with name. For our first route we can give it home, and a component that it should display when we visit this URI. And so for that we can use home view, this one we have here. And I usually export this to its own file, but for this demo I will just leave it like this. So let's actually create a few other routes for our other pages about view and contact. I'm sure about this here. Contact and contact here. Yeah, now we have our routes. We need to use this router in our app instance. So for that we need to go to our main.js file. Before mounting we need to use it here, so we need to import a router. But so now we are using our router in our app instance, but still we are hard coding this home view, so for now this will still not work because we're using anchor tags. But to make this dynamic we need to use router view. So basically this router view will display these components based on this URI. So when visit /about, it will display about view right here. Yeah, so now it should display homepage. So to switch between them we can't use anchor tags. Instead we need to use router links, and we also need to import them from the router, and instead of href we need to use 2. So now this should work. So let's change routers to router links, copy this. Yeah, so did it refresh? And when we click on this, it should update the URI without refreshing the page and should render the about view. So let's give it a try. And as you can see, it updated the URI and displayed the correct view. And let's test this for the view page. And yes, as expected, it's working. And these were just basics of vue-router. In the future episodes, we will dive deeper into this topic. Thank you for watching. That's it for this video. See you guys on the next one.